All right. It's been a while since we've talked about Oracle, but they announced this week that they are going to be deploying Nvidia Bluefield technology to their cloud to increase performance. And they're going to be using Bluefield 3, which is the latest generation of DPUs that Nvidia has developed from their Mellanox acquisition. All of this was revealed during the Nvidia GTC keynote this week. They pointed out that Bluefield 3 has a power reduction for servers that are using it over Bluefield 2, and also crazy increased performance compared to just using regular CPU to do that stuff. A lot of this comes from the fact that Bluefield, of course, is a DPU. They call them a SmartNIC. That helps you kind of offload workloads from the main CPU and things like that. There was also an industry report that came out this week that said that DPU and SmartNICs in the market are supposed to grow at least 30% this year. Now, Chris, I know this is a technology you're pretty familiar with. Is this good news for Oracle Cloud customers? Is this kind of a field test for Bluefield 3?
Yeah, I mean, so I think yes to both questions. This is very interesting. As you said, these DPUs are really what other people call SmartNICs in some cases. It's a processor enhanced network interface card, right? And as you mentioned, the whole point is to offload functions from the host CPU or GPU system, whatever's going on in the core of the servers. And one of the big questions around DPUs up to and including now is, yeah, that's cool, but what's it good for? I think we're starting to answer that question quite a bit, and I think that's why the Dell'Oro Group is forecasting that SmartNIC revenue will grow by 30% this year, while traditional NIC revenue is only going to see single-digit growth. And the Bluefield 3, NVIDIA's third generation DPU, is pretty impressive. There's 22 billion transistors, which is just a fun number. It's double the Bluefield 2, the last generation, which had about 7 billion. It's a system on a chip device. It's got 400 gigabits per second of bandwidth, where the Gen 2 was at 200 gigabits per second. It's PCIe Gen 5. And the way they get those 22 billion transistors is through 16 ARM A87 cores. So really, really cool. It's also got accelerators specifically in it for software-defined storage, for networking, for security, for streaming, and for line rate, TLS, and IPsec cryptography. So, a ton of power packed into, a package of a NIC. And as I said, right, one of the things with DPU so far has been figuring out, okay, great, how do we use all of that? I think we can trust OCI, the Oracle Cloud Infrastructure team, to probably have some software built around that, or to build software around that to provide advantage to their customers from using them. Outside of OCI, we're seeing VMware's Project Monterey, which is providing this enterprise-friendly software layer using vSphere that can support third-party applications that we think will take advantage of SmartNICs. The other thing that's really driving this growth number, I think, that we're projecting for SmartNICs over this year is increased interest in edge deployments, where you can see that, using a SmartNIC in a server at an edge location could definitely boost the performance of that server itself. So I think it's going to be an interesting year as we see if these numbers hold true, and if we really see SmartNIC revenue, DPU revenue, increase by this, big number of 30% this year. And also, outside of just the SmartNICs, I think for OCI specifically, it'll be interesting to see how they leverage these new Bluefield 3 DPUs in their system and how that kind of plays out for their customers. Like I said, I think they're going to do a good job with it, but it's all in the software, I think, at this point.